Good afternoon and welcome to Marara Oval this afternoon. TIO Stadium, big clash this afternoon, round 16 between the Tiwi Bombers and the Southern Districts Crocodiles. Both of them playing for pride at this stage of the season. The Tiwi Bombers sitting last on the table, winless for the season. Southern Districts sitting sixth and again playing for pride. Look forward to seeing how both of them go. Southern Districts will be on the lookout, no doubt, to see whether a Tiwi Bombers side comes out with far more intensity than what they have in recent times. They'll be looking to break their winless streak thus far. Joining me this afternoon in special comments is Heidi Thompson, the former NT Thunder coach of 2020 and Darwin Middle School teacher. How are you, Heidi?
Yeah, great. Afternoon.
And in commentary, Ashley Manakaris. How are you, Ashley?
Very well, thank you, Dom. And actually looking forward to this game a little bit because we watched Tiwi last week. We'll see if they've bounced back from anything. They've certainly named a stronger side than they did last week.
Well, they'd want to be doing that. They need to put in a really good performance this afternoon playing against the Crocodiles. And you speak of teams naming stronger sides. The Crocs have added both Michael Barlow and Ed Barlow to their unit. So a real challenge here for the Tiwi Bombers. The big men in the middle, Monagatti lining up against Gallo. Gallo goes up high, wins it down to Luke Kyle immediately. Gets it out to Bailey. Good tackle laid on him. Monagatti, what a player he is. The ruckman laying a very good tackle in the middle of the ground and wins the first free kick of the afternoon. Long kick now down towards half forward. Target down there was Tipalora. Comes off hands. Strong over the footy was Michael Bowden. Ball out the back to Bugaja. That's a nice kick. Spots up a teammate in the form there of Billy Rolfe. He had a good game last week against St Mary's. Goes back to steady the ship now to Michael Bowden at half-back.
Bowden across to his teammate there in Clark. Clark across to Ogden. Ogden goes out wide, centre wing, far scoreboard side and picks up McAdam. McAdam with a quick hands-off to his running teammate and they go inside the 50, the Crocs for the first time. Bouncing loose. There's been interference in the marking competition. A free kick's been paid and it's going to go to Dowhouse. So Dowhouse will go back and have a shot on a very tight angle, about 10 metres in from the boundary line.
Yeah, great start from Crocs. Fantastic to see some forward entries there, and they just slowed the play down there just to get a little bit of width on the far side, and now lining up for goal.
Dowhouse did very well representing the Northern Territory against Glenelg 2 weeks ago. Comes back in, not a bad shot at goal, accurate as it is, and puts it through.
So going for the flags.
Yeah, great to have Crocs get a handy start there with a goal in the first minute or so, minute and a half of the game. And, yeah, hopefully Tiwi can bounce back there and really compete today. That's what we want, competitive game.
We see Charlie McAdam there taking the footy on the wing and, as you talked about, Heidi, before, just creating a bit of width there out on that wing and then in quickly, and free kick that just didn't have to be given there.
No, that's right. That Tiwi player got caught behind and just did a shove in the back and the umpire saw it and was pinged.
Well, I'm going to defend the Tiwi player there because he looked like he slipped a little bit there, but still the interference was there, the free kick was there, and the goal has ended up on the board.
So Jay Dalhouse, the first goal kicker for the afternoon. Ball tossed high in the air. Straight down now to Michael Barlow, his first kick of the afternoon. Out wide here and will be out of bounds on the scoreboard side. So free kick out there to the Tiwi Bombers. Looking to swing this ball inboard now. Down the line. Punch away there by Gallo. Charlie McAdam. Off to Barlow, that's Michael, now to Brodie Lake, that's really dangerous. And that's a mark taken there.
Yeah, rare error from Brodie Lake there. He's an NT Thunder Academy representative and unlucky to not get drafted last year, but he's working really, really hard with his efforts. So an unlucky miss straight to the Tiwi player and lining up to rebound.
The danger kick, of course, across goals and... he'll want to have that one over again. Francis Vigona Daniels, the player with ball in hand. Jogs in now. Kick on its way. Can it be the immediate response? It certainly can. Tiwi on the board. It came from an error, but that's exactly what you've got to do. Make sure you make them pay, and Francis Vigona Daniels kicks his first for the afternoon. And the scoreboard at the 3.5 minute mark, 1 goal apiece.
Yeah, it looks like Districts are keen to go back and that slow play, but really good pressure there on Brodie Lake, forced the error and straight into that Tiwi player.
Well, that's a coach killer, that that sort of error that ends up in a goal, the district's coaching staff would absolutely be pulling their hair out. But good work by the Bombers to actually capitalise on a mistake. I mean, it would have been sad if they missed out on that. Back in the middle, Monaghetti got his hand on it first. Tipperwoody tried to lead the race to the ball, but it's picked up hurriedly by the Crocs, and they get it out through Barlow. Bouncing ball, socket off, leading the race to it, though, are the Tiwi Bombers defenders. And it's been guided out of bounds. And it looks like Kane Counsellor was leading the race for the Bombers there.
Yeah, I'd like to see a bit more intent here with the Bombers players, just pairing off, finding a player. I see a couple of spare players out the back here.
Back with that bounce down there. Gallo got his hands on it first, tapped it forward. Can't get away. They've kept it in, though, the Crocs, and they're going to keep us hugging that boundary line scoreboard side. They bring it back inboard again. Now they've got the runner through there. It's Duffy. Short pass over to Barlow. He can turn and go, and he's going to centre it again. He's got an open player there. And drifting down into that middle corridor to go back and have a shot at goal will be Begija, Lachlan Begija. He's only going to kick from about 30 out, right in front. Not particularly hard.
Wow.
And he's made it look easy and put it straight through.
It's a goal fest here. Sorry. We've got Ed Barlow really showing his class. Took a nice mark out in the pocket and sized it up really nicely to kick straight across goal, perfectly over the Tiwi player into the hands of Begija.
Yeah, you're just watching that on replay there now. Heidi, he's such a good user of the footy, isn't he?
Oh, he is, and he's a real class act. It's a great pickup for Crocs to have him back on deck here.
He's got the flowing locks too, this game.
He has, yeah. He's got the COVID hair, let's call it.
Well, the thing was that Lachlan Begija was able to sort of drift down there unattended. No Tiwi player ran with him.
Big man in the middle, Dean Robertson swapped with Gallo, still up against Monaghetti. Down there to the man with the flowing locks in Barlow. Districts come out of the middle nicely by hand. Lovely handball out wide here to Michael Barlow. Pops it up. Jonathan Ross with an opportunity. Can he take it? He can. What a grab that was. He's on his back with the first grab, then the second. Spots up Ed Barlow in the middle. Had it, then lost it. Jason Purantata-Mary socketed it out of his hands. Now the Tiwi defence go to work. Turnover, that centre half forward, Matt Duffy with ball in hand. The long bomb towards goal is off to the right hand side. So the first minor score for the Crocodiles sees them move to 2-1-13 at the 6.5 minute mark, leading the Tiwi Bombers 1 straight 6.
Well, they've got some movement as they bring it out wide. It's going to bounce, but it's going to stop. Farah got in. Farah got in there to get the hurried hand, and the ball's gone out of bounds, about 45 metres around. Michael Long end left to screen here at Marara football.
Frenetic pace out here, guys. I think they just need to slow it down, compose. That footy into Ed Barlow should have been taken. Turnover was quick, and we'll see what Crocs can do here.
Knock forward. Bouncing off was Duffy off his teammate Barlow, and he's going to get pinged for a throw. The Bombers end up coming out of defence. They've got the runners there. Counsellor for the Tiwi Bombers. Picks out Begona Daniels, the goal scorer for the Bombers. He's on half forward. He's got the running down. Looks like Aussie Wanamiri. He takes 3 steps, then looks in short to a leading teammate, and he bounces off Tipperwoody's chest. And here they come, the Crocs. They're going to ease a little bit of the pressure out through Barlow.
Barlow now takes that mark deep in defence. Handball off to Bosley. Now to Dalhouse, back to Bosley. They've still got runners on here. Nice little handball away to Robert Bull. Now the sideways one to Billy Rolfe. And does he spot up Farah? He does. Good mark by Farah. J.D. McLennan, John Dominic McLennan was calling for the touch on it. But the umpire awards the mark. And so Jonathan Farah, the opportunity to go back in the corridor here and have the shot from 40 metres out. Doesn't waste any time at all. Kicks from 45. Does he squeeze it in? Oh, he does more than that. He's kicked that beautifully.
Yeah, that's a fantastic goal, and what a lead up to that. Really defending out of their D50 and kicking down the middle, and then the handball connect in the middle there. Just the running effort, intent, and work rate. Fantastic there from Bosley. And then to get that kick straight back into Farah, into the forward line here. Spotted him up nicely. Took a juggling mark, secured the footy, and the rest is history. Kicked a goal.
Yeah, did nicely there. Did nicely. And Bosley's really made a name for himself at fullback in recent weeks when he started off as a full forward.
I think he's quite a versatile player. I've heard on good report that he's ex-AFL, drafted to Hawthorn. He's played a bit of VFL as well.
Robinson got it down. Barlow was in there. Hurried kick out of the middle of the Bombers and is picked up by Tipperwoody. He turns and goes, then right foot, low pass. Ogden, though, for the Crocs, chops it off. Borks now is tipped out. They're under enormous pressure from the Bombers forwards, but a free kick's been found, and at least some of the pressure will go to Rolfe. Rolfe's got the running McAdam out wide, outside the 50, handballed off to Ed Barlow. Underground kick, scoreboard side. Here they come again, the Crocs through Bowden. Hurried hands over the top, though, couldn't bring it in. Tipperwoody comes in, picked up by Bowden, gets it inside the 50. The bouncing ball is going to be led by Robert Bull out of bounds. Heidi, they worried that forward, the Crocs. It wasn't clean, wasn't pretty, but they got it forward.
Yeah, the conditions here are a little bit wet underfoot, and I think they just need to play within the conditions a little bit more, taking on the chest and securing the ball.
Robinson down, right forward. Ball's going to go out of bounds again, this time on the 50-metre paint.
And these stoppages aren't a bad thing. It just gives everyone a time to reset and gather their positionally, especially for the Crocs here, to ensure they've got everyone in the 50 where they need to be. Tiwi once again need to pair off.
Boundary throw in now. Big man in Dean Robertson. Up at it. Wins it down. Dalhouse tries to crash his way through. Lowered the head, and one umpire said play on. Two have got the arm extended for the free kick. So Dalhouse will take the free kick here. Outside 50, but with a real opportunity here for the Crocodiles. He's got leads going everywhere. And now goes short. Looking for Ed Barlow, but well cut off by Jason Purantata-Merry. Just waited too long there, Dalhouse. Purantata-Merry now spotting up Austin Wannamerry.
Look like they want to go down the corridor here, but I'd really encourage using the width and the run of the Tiwi Bombers.
Oh, straight down the middle. Tiwi slipping over there. Little handball out for the Crocodiles now to Lake. Lake back inboard to Bergager, now to the run of Bowden. At centre half back. A little chip up is a nice one. Goes to Bosley. Stays on the move. Long kick out now to centre wing. And Tiwi looking for deliberate, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Off the side of the boot in these conditions. And yet another boundary throw in.
In AFLW, just to be a bit contentious here, this would be a turnover. So the lasso rule. What do you think about that, boys? No good.
Not a big fan. It's not underage footy.
No.
No, and I guess for women's, in the women's game, it really does make the game tick along and ensures that you're going to get a few more forward entries. In the men's game, you can kick probably 3 kicks and you're in the forward 50 there.
Getty back in the ruck against Robinson. Robinson one out, got his hands down. Still trying to get it out there. Looks like Bull was in there. Hurried kick, touched. It's going to be high. McAdam gives his opponent a bit of a shove there in Cunningham. Still loose. Ogden with the hurried hands. Picks up a teammate in Barlow. Michael Barlow, that is. McAdam again picks it back inside and he finds Ogden. Ogden takes a step, then off to a teammate who's run up, which is Jordan Bailey. Goes back inside the centre circle. Bailey chips it over. Crocs players running everywhere at the moment. Not too many Tiwi players with them. A lot of pointing going on. A lot of traffic direction. Kyle goes in and picks out Ed Barlow. He turns. He looks. He's on the 50. And he's picked out a teammate all on his own to the left forward pocket. And that's Brody Lake, who's drifted down unattended.
He can make amends here, Brody Lake, for his kick across goal earlier. Let's see if he can put this one through the big sticks.
Not easy, Heidi, from here.
He's got a decent kick on him. He's certainly a quality player. Like I said, unlucky to be not drafted last year. Hopefully this threw his chances pretty well.
In comes Lake, right foot. No, not a great kick. Looks like he took a bit of the mud with him. Bounces over the top. The flyer there. Couldn't quite get his hands on it. And the ball will be thrown in. No, in fact, the ball will be thrown in about 10 metres around from the boundary line.
Players setting themselves. Barlow, in fact, in the ruck contest against Monagatti. Barlow back in there. Over the ball. Districts with possession. Good tackling from the Tiwi defence and the free kick given for the sling after disposal. So right in front of goal here.
It's a
and
shame.
So another opportunity.
Yeah, they didn't need to do that. They've been pressuring really well. When they're in the contest and competing, they can tackle and they can pressure, but they didn't really need that sling there.
Jordan Bailey here, the man with the ball in hand. He had a really good game against St Mary's last weekend. And he started this one very nicely indeed, except for that kick. Kick off the side of the boot there. Let me down there, Jordan. He has started the game well, though. He's in it. Another behind on the board. Crocodiles, they move on to 3-2-20. Leading the Tiwi Bombers one straight, 6:14 gone in this first quarter.
Well, very casual Jason Purintatameri there. Just gave a short pass out. Whistle's gone. They've stopped and slowed down. And he picked out Patrick Purintatameri, who then gives it over to a teammate. And the Bombers are outside their 50. They head towards centre wing. Cantilla was the flyer for the Bombers, but in front was Duffy. Took it cleanly. Now it's over the top. He's got his runner and his teammate there. It looked like Bagija. Over to Barlow. Back to Bagija. Borks one, then handball over the top. They get it away through Michael Barlow. Oh, and the short kick has come off. And that's Tom Demamil. Just on the boundary line. I'm not sure if he's going to take the kick or not. Heidi, is he going to go back and have a shot?
He looks like he's shaping up for a drop punt.
He is, doesn't he? Well, it's a very tight angle. He's right on the boundary line, and he'd be kicking from about 42 out with a soggy ball. Up it goes, off hands. It's going to be loose. Purintatameri's in there. So too is Farah. Big hip and shoulder from Farah. On his hands and knees, though. Can't get it away cleanly. Purintatameri balked, then got a kick away. Play on is the call. Here they come. Again through the Bombers' defence. But it's Ogden who chips it off, and he just ends up everywhere, doesn't he?
Ogden, good mark. Passes off to Bowden. Not his best kick, but it ends up exactly where he wanted it to go, and that's on the chest of Jonathan Ross. Heidi, again, we see that turnover. They're being brave, aren't they? Hamish Rowlands with the kick into midfield there, and it was almost on. But then once it wasn't, back it goes.
The way you break the wall is through the hands, which they tried. They probably need to take maybe another 5 to 6 steps. It would have broken that wall over the top.
So they're being brave, the Tiwi Bombers, but Jonathan Ross here, dead in front. No, I'm not going to make the distance with that. In fact, he is going to make the distance, but through for a behind with the effort. So another behind on the board. 3-3-21, the Crocodiles. Tiwi, still only the one scoring shot to date. One straight 6, 16 gone in the first quarter.
Heenan, 201 game player. Patrick Heenan, he goes in short. It's going to bounce. Not a great percentage kick. Again, loose. Oh, led away with that.
Lucky.
Bombers, yeah, it was. It's bouncing on centre wing. Here we go. Cantilla picks it up. Borks goes himself. Inside out, right foot kick. Not real good percentage. Barlow is a flyer. Interfered within the mark. Plays on quickly. Doesn't worry about that. Across he goes. Across his goal he goes to McAdam. McAdam's got the running roll. Then on to Ogden, who's inside the centre circle, and he looks further forward, turns and burns and goes. He's picked up Kyle. Kyle goes to move. He has a couple of options, ignores them. Now he goes in short, and it's Farah. Well, Farah got away from his opponent. Easiest mark.
Yeah, Southern Districts have really opened the game up through that lateral kick, especially Ed Barlow. He's got a great kick on him. Goes out laterally. They can use the width, the fat side of the ground, and have a shot.
Farah loads it up, left foot, certainly got the distance, offline again, across the face of goal, through for another point. The Crocs, 3 goals for, 22. Tiwi, 1 straight goal.
Well, Southern Districts have had all the game, really. They're dictating a lot of this, the control of the footy. If you've got the footy in your hands, you can control what you do with it. At the moment, Tiwi really need to start getting their hands on the ball, competing a bit more at ground level, but also numbering up, pairing off, working that little bit harder. But they're right in it if they can get over that wall like I spoke about earlier.
Patrick Heenan going with a torpedo to try and extricate the ball from defence. They've reached centre half back, the Tiwi Bombers, but the turnover already. Rolf to Farah. The little 1-2 is good. Off to Bugaja was the attempt. Kick off the side of the boot. Bugaja was good. Strong and hard at the footy. Lake to Farah. Drops the mark. Tackled. Got rid of it by hand. Charlie McAdam in low. Little hands up to Duffy is good. Now off to Bailey. Bailey the chip. Oh, Travis Carroll waited for it beautifully. Protected the footy with his body. And now the little sideways one again. Off to Dalhouse. Inside 50 yet again.
Free player right at the top of the 50 here. Tiwi Bomber player has gone to him now, but just too many spares, and again in the pocket there.
Off to Michael Barlow. Has the shot on goal, if you don't mind. What a kick that was from the forward pocket.
Yeah, that was really, really impressive to see. When you've got spare players like that, you've got to utilise it. You've got to honour the lead. But a kick from the pocket there on such a tight angle, he knew it straight away. As soon as he kicked off the boot, he was celebrating.
Just magnificent. What a skillful player he's always been, hasn't he, Michael Barlow? We see here Jay Dalhouse with ball in hand, and as you say, Heidi, honoured it immediately.
Yep, nice short kick. Made no mistake and played on, rolled and go, and straight in.
He made it look so easy, didn't he?
Yeah, that's a tough kick.
He actually did have a look to see whether there was somebody in a better position, made the decision, no, bang.
I'm going to go myself.
You got to back yourself, and when you kick like that, why not?
Why not?
Well, Monaghan's got his work ahead of him here. He's basically rucking against 3 districts ruckman if you throw in Michael Barlow. He got his hand on it first. Heenan locked it up. The ball's going to be balled up again. We're well and truly into time on, we're approaching time on. 28 plays 6. Monaghan again, big fist out. Shark though, out they come through Bailey. Quick hands off. Bowden with the kick in. Picks out Travis Carroll on the lead. Travis Carroll turns, looks back inboard again. Loose on the ground. Rollins was in there. Now he's got it. Can't get it away. He's got a handball to himself and then try and regather. Under pressure, though, from Michael Barlow, the last goal kicker. Here they come again. The Crocs just on the boot as he was kicking it. Free kick's been paid downfield. Was late. I think it might have been considered high. The ball went through for a point, so it'll come back. It'll be Billy Rolfe who will have a shot at goal.
Another good, consistent player for them, Ash. Played well last week.
Well, did you see the umpire just checking with Billy Rolfe what he wanted to do there? And what he's saying is, do you want the score to stand or do you want to have another shot? And gave him the option.
Is that a no-brainer?
It's a pretty easy choice, isn't it?
No, it's actually what actually has to happen. The umpire was Joel Morrison, who knows his stuff. Been on the AFL rookies list, so he knows what he's doing. Rolfe comes in. He's only about 25 metres out directly in front and makes no mistake.
Well,
Goal umpire William Wood doesn't move.
Made the right decision, didn't he, in the end?
The no-brainer, as you said, Heidi.
Yeah, clearly districts have really had a lot of the play here, and I hope that Tiwi can regroup at quarter time and start to be a little bit more competitive. But we see here on the replay, expansive handball out to space.
Yeah.
And yeah, just a little bit late. It was a bit of a hip and shoulder, but came through. Might have been a bit high on him.
Yeah, he's jumping. He was jumping as he was doing it. It was Brendan Cantilla.
Yep.
Don't think there was any viciousness in it, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
So here we are again. Dean Robertson lining up against the ever-present Jack Monaghan. Monaghan wins that one down. Turnover immediately in the middle. Kyle, he's having a field day. Almost the one-hander in these conditions to Jordan Bailey. Steps one way, then the other. Gets away, loses the footy. Play on, says the umpire. Demamil gets the ball out to Michael Barlow, who's just using it so well. And off to Billy Rolfe. They could kick his second in a minute here.
Yeah, unlucky there. I thought they might have been dropping the ball or holding the ball, but it was play on was the call.
So Billy Rolfe, similar position to where Brodie Lake had his last shot, and it's very, very heavy underfoot. There's lots of water there. This is not easy. Has the shot. He made it look easy. Billy Rolfe becomes the first multiple goal kicker for the afternoon. He has 2 in this first quarter. And the Crocodiles, they march on here. 6-4-40 to the Tiwi Bombers, 1 straight 6.
Yeah, working really hard at ground level here. And they've got some nice method around the contest using the backdoor option. And they go on the 45. And really there were 2 free players for Southern Districts there that he could have chosen. Went out wider and finished off nicely. Like you said, bit wet underfoot. Probably not too much of an angle and not too far out. But still a difficult kick in these conditions.
Farah there was the player just looking on, interested observer, stretching a groin on the sideline. His team going very nicely here, deep into the first quarter.
As we see, Gallows made his way onto the field against Monaghan. Monaghan got his hand and brings it back, and here come the Bombers straight inside the 50. Wanamiri takes front position, is punched away from him. The height difference there, the killer. Oh, wrapping him up beautifully was Tipalura. Loose on the ground, play on's the call. They're working very hard. Ogden doesn't worry about grabbing it. He just soccers it out of the air. Here they come again, trying to keep it inside the 50, burrowing through. No one can really pick it up. Now they get it out. That was through Michael Barlow. Doesn't get very far, though. Still loose. Lake, he's caught. And he's been pinged for holding the ball by umpire Gould. And the free kick will go to Patrick Heenan.
Excellent pressure from Tiwi Bombers there.
Heenan loads it up, sends it in. Wanamiri's in there, loose on the ground. Now he can't, tries to pick it up. Tip and Woody patting it around. Same with Ogden. Now he comes out with it, Ogden. Handball off to his teammate McAdam. They play the 1-2. Ogden's got Bowden, the running Michael Bowden. Little short pass. Centre wing picks out the big ruckman in Gallo. Gallo gives it off to Dalhouse. Begija onto his running teammate there in Jordan Bailey. He's wrapped up as he tries to get it and gets pinged holding the ball. What do you think, Heidi? Bit quick?
Yeah, look, I think that was great pressure from Tiwi to get a nice tackle in there, but they could have gone slow play again. Crocs have worked that slow play lateral kick. Yeah, hopefully we can see that expansive play and nice use of the width of the field.
So we see the turnover now at half forward here for Southern Districts. This seems to be where it breaks down often for the Tiwi Bombers. Another opportunity here with the boundary throw in. 40 plays 6, 25 gone. Close to quarter time. Ruck contest won again by Monagatti. Young Jordan Burke there not really going for the footy. Now he has to come in and get hold of it, and he does, and he's taken high. That's the way. Went in straight and hard for the footy, grabbed hold of it and was taken high. That's what he's got to do. On the left boot now. It's a poor kick. The immediate turnover straight to Ogden at half-back for the Crocodiles. His little chip goes to Lake, who's in the action. Spearing pass to Duffy. Gathers it nicely. Back to Michael Barlow. Off to Lake. Ogden to put on the Shepherd. Well done. Did the team thing and did it nicely. Kick into space now inside 50. Running onto it, Kyle. And just runs into space easily and misses the goal to the left-hand side.
That deserved a goal, that passage of play. Exciting stuff down the corridor.
Good play by Southern Districts. Quarter time it is, and they lead in this match. 6-5-41 to the Tiwi Bombers. 1 straight, 6.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Head on in to Kazali's Palmerston Club. Business meetings, coffee breaks, or just unwinding, Kazali's has you covered. It's the perfect spot for a catch-up with friends, with stylish function areas suitable for any occasion. Sensational meals. Our family-friendly bistro has plenty of delicious options. All the latest machines in our modern gaming room. Get around the pool tables and prove your skills. Fancy a flutter? We've got full betting facilities available. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
So we can feel wherever you feel together, real together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm blue and far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sport zones,
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport Concept Store. Now open at Casuarina Square.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. Southern District's in the lead here, 6-5-41 to the Tiwi Bombers, 1 straight 6. Billy Rolfe, the only multiple goal scorer. He's got 2 goals. The other goal kickers, 2-quarter time, Michael Barlow, Jonathan Farrer, Jade Dalhouse and Lachlan Bugaja for the Crocs. And for the Tiwi Bombers, their sole goal scorer, Francis Vigona Daniels. Heidi, Tiwi Bombers, enterprising play, just can't quite put it together.
Yeah, I'd love to see them break the game open, but at the moment they're just disconnected. This doesn't seem like there's a connect around the midfield. Monegatti's doing all his heart and soul in there with winning the tap, but they just can't win the clearance. A bit more communication around the footy there, and we might be able to see some more forward entries from the Bombers. But all the credit to the Crocs over there, Southern Districts. They have played really well at slowing the play down, using the lateral side or the lateral kick, the fat side we call it, and then using their open and free runners in the forward line. And they've really exploited a lot of those Tiwi players who maybe aren't willing to work as hard to defend, I guess.
Yes, the fitness levels not really where they should be, I think, for the Tiwi Bombers. And, gee, it's been a tough season for them, Heidi. I mean, winless at this stage and looking like it's going in exactly that direction again in this game. It's hard to keep going in those situations, isn't it?
Oh, it is, most definitely. And we spoke about it earlier off-air just in relation to getting over here. And it is tough when you've got weather conditions, the wet season up here in Darwin and a ferry ride over or a plane ride over. It's really tough to get a strong, competitive team together each week. But they're doing their best and they're still out there plugging away. So we really hope they can rebound well in the second quarter.
Tiwi Bombers with it all to do in this second quarter. Monagatti lining up in the middle. Kyle's played a very good game so far for the Crocodiles. And Jordan Bailey just growing in stature with his midfield role, doing very well.
Growing in stature, that's the word of the moment. Look at this team, they are huge. This midfield, there's some tall midfielders in there. And Tiwi probably haven't got the height to match them at the moment. But if they can get in and under and win the footy at ground level, they'll be a force in the second quarter.
And draw the free kick as a consequence of being first in there, in and under.
Ashley Manakaros to get us underway here in the second quarter.
Gallo has gone back in there against Monagatti, and Gallo got his hands on it first. Tap down, Wanamiri was in there. Now he's got it away. Wanamiri, right foot, bouncing over the top of teammate Tipalura. Leading the race was Tip and Woody, can't get it. Coming back inside was McAdam with a hurried handball, and a free kick's been found for a sling after the event. Advantage has been paid. Michael Barlow across to a teammate, Bagija. He turns and goes back inboard and picks out another teammate. This time in Kyle, handball back to Bagija. He's got Barlow out wide. Goes the required 15 jest. Barlow balks and goes and picks out the big ruckman. Gives off. Oh, and he got hit hard and late, and a free kick will be paid downfield, and it's Austin Wanamiri. And the player on the receiving end was Luke Kyle, who gets up none too happy.
Yeah, you don't want to see that. And just discipline as well. I think that the Tiwi Bombers players just need to be careful here in ensuring they're not hitting players late, playing nice and fair. I'm sure they will.
Well, on the field, sort of further up the field, Billy Rolfe has got the ball, and he's not worried about anything that's going on, and a blood rule has been paid. And play will now wait. Rolfe will have to wait to take his kick, and Luke Kyle will come off after that hard hit from Austin Wanamiri. And Robert Bull will make his way, and the play will restart once Bull gets back into that midfield, and Billy Rolfe will be the one that goes back to have a shot at goal.
Yeah, top of the 50 here. He's a player of the moment. He's playing a fantastic game for Southern Districts.
Only multiple goal kicker on the field. Leans up, lines up, puts it through, signals to the crowd. That's number 3.
Yeah, it's a shame how that came about, because you want to see them earn their kicks, but I'm sure Tiwi Bombers will go back to the drawing board there and just get really busy with their discipline and working hard with the footy. But good to see Rolfe there kicking his 3rd goal and really putting Districts now in a fantastic position for this game.
Dominic, do you think that Austin Wanamiri perhaps was trying to spark his side with a bit of physicality, but just misguided slightly?
Well, as you could describe it like that, just took the moment, I think, and made an incorrect decision, and then went on after it. So it'll be interesting to see how that's looked at afterwards. Ball back in the middle here. Gallo up high, and again he wins it against Monagatti. Jordan Bailey with the quick kick out now through half forward. Travis Carroll hard at it. Lovely hands to Farah. Back to Carroll. Tried to flick it up, but stolen away there. Well done, the Tiwi Bombers. Francis Vigona Daniels sliding mark in the middle of the ground is good. And there's been an infringement here. So a 50-metre penalty. So Francis Vigona Daniels.
Maybe it was the spark that they needed.
No, I think it may well have been, but they were moving the ball, trying to move the ball quickly, and the actual Districts player ran over the mark, or didn't set himself up correctly.
So Francis Vigona Daniels, he's the only person to have had a shot at goal so far for the Tiwi Bombers in the first quarter. And now he has an opportunity early in this second quarter. Kick on its way, and he's put that through the middle. Well done, Francis Vigona Daniels. He's kicked 2, the only 2 for the Tiwi Bombers. They move on to 2 straight 12, trailing Southern Districts 7-5, 47 at the 3.5-minute mark of this second quarter.
And you've got to make your own luck there, and I think by going up the middle of the ground here, quick handball out, intercepting the ball and going up the middle, taking a nice sliding mark here, and the luck of the game in here, we see a player going over the mark.
Yeah, it was actually looked like Ogden came from behind.
Oh, protected area.
Inside the protected area.
Yep.
And the 50-metre penalty was paid. Good work from Cantilla, and I thought perhaps Travis Carroll might have been a bit lucky getting away with that handball there.
Handball?
Well,
handball?
It was a hybrid offload. Monaghetti again. This time it's grabbed by Heenan, who ducks his head and falls straight to the ground. He's going to get a free kick. He's drawn the free kick, and they in the commentary box, the grunts, because he dropped to the ground, he had prior, and he probably could have been done for holding the ball.
It's a Joel Selwood moment, that one.
Play on is the call. Out wide to a running teammate who's got space, and that's Kane Counsellor, but looks like he's going to be worried out of it by Duffy. Duffy moves it ahead of himself, but the boundary line will beat him over in front of the scoreboard, which reads 7 goals, 5-47, 2 straight kicks.
And we did have a chat, the commentary group here at quarter time, just in relation to the size difference in the middle of the park, and you can draw free kicks like that when you're a bit smaller, and hopefully you drive your legs through and win at ground level. So like I said before, make your own luck and hopefully you get some opportunities.
Boundary throw in now, Gallo up against Monagatti. We'll call that a dead heat. Jordan Bailey couldn't handle at ground level. Districts come away with it from the congestion. Nice punch away, but lands in the hands of Travis Carroll. Little handball away to Rolfe. On the snap, Farah should be first there as the bounce kind it is. Doesn't worry about the handball to a teammate and tries to just slide it through on the outside of that left boot. Unsuccessful, hits the post. Nice effort though there by Farah. The Tiwi Bombers play on quickly there through Hamish Rowlands. And they'll start again from deep in the back pocket.
Yeah, we'll see what they can conjure up here, Tiwi.
Well, they're certainly moving the ball much quicker. Perhaps that was the main message of their quarter-time break. Don't go back and have a look. Get it moving.
Yeah, use your weaponry. Weaponry would be, being the smalls that they are, a lot of the Tiwi Bombers players, we need to use that through the run.
Barlow, handball over to Bull. Worried out of it, though. Still keep the pressure on to the Tiwi Bombers. In there was Tip and Woody. There could have been a kicking danger, and there was. Clever, drawn by Tipalura.
Did well, didn't he, off half-back? Won himself a free kick. So the Tiwi, some positive play here.
Oh, had to go around the umpire there.
Brendan Cantella, he did so well. The kick was good. Oh, look at the torpedo. What a kick. Can they take the mark? No, they can't. The mark dropped by Francis Vergona Daniels. Good defence by the Crocs. Bugaja by hand to Ed Barlow. He's in the thick of it as usual. Comes down the wing. Farah can't take the grab. Tiwi now having to work their way out of defence here. Still pushing the ball forward. Good play on the up from Patrick Kurantala-Mary. Away to Sylvester Olsen. Long kick. Misses his target there in Adam Chippenwoody. And McAdam comes away with it with a nice calming kick to Luke Kyle.
And Districts here will probably go slow on the 45 and just calm things down. But great work in here. The Tiwi Bombers getting the footy back in the corridor.
And he picks out the big ruckman is it
Bosley?
Bosley that's come up all the way from the defensive 50, who finds Lake right on front of the interchange. He really doesn't have a huge amount of options. He's got two, though. It's a bouncing pass to McAdam, who gets put under pressure straight away from Tip and Woody. They're going back to where it came from. Still loose. Wanamiri with good body. Heenan can't get it first time. Goes to ground, goes to knee. He's got to be careful here. Loose on the ground. It's still going to be held up. Umpire Declan Gould says, give it to me and I'm going to ball it up. Well, Heenan was perhaps a little bit lucky there, Heidi, to get away with that.
Yeah, I thought that was dragging in just a little bit.
And he dropped to his knees
he did.
again.
Yep, got to make an attempt to get the footy out there, but umpire saw it differently.
Ball tossed high, away by Robertson. Monagatti just crashes into him on the ground. Lake, in fact, it was Dalhouse charging his way through. Robertson by hand to Lake. Dropping the ball immediately. Robertson in hard. Another high tackle to the Tiwi Bombers. Tipalora again in the action. John Tipalora, well done. Kicks out wide. Finds Brendan Cantilla. Long, quick kick inside, attacking 50. No mark. Perhaps some calmer play required there. Kane Counsellor over the footy. What can he do with it? Again to John Tipalora. Taken without the footy. Smart play, John Tipalora. Again, well done.
Well, they're earning the free kicks here by putting their body over the ball.
That's right, yeah. A lot of pressure and they're wanting the ball. They're first to it. The intent's there.
Oh, Adam Chippenwoody with the fly. Couldn't take the grab. And now the free kick right in front of goal.
Well,
yet again, this has been some really, really inspirational play here from the Tiwi Bombers. They've earned every free kick along the way. And now a free kick dead in front of goal. And Francis Vergona Daniels, he's kicked two. Can he now line up and kick their third? He's wasting no time. From dead in front, just squeezes it through. Doesn't matter. 3 goals on the board for the Tiwi Bombers.
Oh,
and Heidi, I have to say, out of all of them, that was the most deserved of them. That was fantastic.
Most definitely, yep. And I just want to see this highlight here because it looks like he did everything but mark the ball. Oh, that is just superb.
Isn't it, Tip and Woody?
Wow.
He would have grabbed that on a dry day. Oh, look at the... Okay, so the free kick's been paid there from against Duffy for soccering in danger.
Kick in danger.
And again, as I said, just before that occurred, the Bombers have been putting their head over the ball.
Yeah, that's right. They wanted a bit more, and I think you've got to honour that in these conditions because we've got safety's paramount, and if someone's sliding in and we've got a boot coming through, you've got to pay that. So really well deserved, like you said, Dominic.
And I'm going to ask the question, Dom. Did the Wanamiri hip and shoulder spur on this extra aggression at the ball? We'll see. Monaghetti. Again, wins it out. Over the ball was Duffy. Couldn't get a hold of it. Thought he was a bit unlucky there. Was it Duffy? No. In fact, it's Bailey. This time it was Robinson, one out comfortably. Quick hands. Here they go again. Barlow is just metres in front of his opponent, Purantata Mary. Barlow with an underground kick, not real good. Oh, Hamish Rowlands was lazy then, didn't decide to bend his back. Comes back to Michael Barlow, onto Ed Barlow, and a bouncing, hurried kick. Left foot through for a point.
Huge let off there. Tiwi Bombers have got to make this count now and get the footy out onto the far side.
Kick in, comes to Hamish Rowlands. Been serviceable thus far, adds a bit of size to their defence. Long kick is a good kick. Mark taken by Matthew Cantilla.
Love to see them use the runner there. There's a player right there, give the hands off, and then you can break the line.
Into the middle of the ground, goes to Francis Vergona Daniels, fakes the handball, loses it. Didn't dispose of it quick enough, had no support around him, really wasn't the option. The Southern Districts to build again from the middle of the ground. Long kick from Bull to half forward, Mark taken. Yes, it's paid. Luke Kyle there in front of Donald Mungatobi. He plays on, has the long shot at goal. The umpire doesn't have to do too much work at all. Straight through the middle there for Kyle. He kicks his first for the afternoon. And the Crocodiles, they march on 8-7-55. The Tiwi Bombers 3 straight, 18.
Yeah, that player there just took advantage of a Tiwi player on the mark. Not really much intent at all. Straight off rolls and go and straight in. Like I said, umpire didn't even have to move, straight through.
Well, the intensity there had all been the Bombers' way, so it was probably a good steadier for the Crocs as we approached that 12-minute mark. Opened up a margin 55-18. And Monaghan gets his first break from the ruck duties. 1.5 quarters into this game. Robinson easily went out. Again, it was Kyle, the goal kicker. Here they come again. Socket off the ground by the defender of Tiwi Bombers. Tippin Woody couldn't pick it up. Neither can Farah. He's met heavily by Purantata Mary. Bagaja, he gets dragged down. Play on's the call. Tippin Woody though, right foot clear and kick inside the 50. Interfered with was Wanamiri, let go by the umpire. Then he gets pushed off, but he maintains his composure and experience. Can't get rid of it. In fact, he's going to get done for holding the ball. They get it away, but the kick is intercepted. And the Bombers have cut off what looked like was going to be a clear kick, and it's Braden Rioli in possession.
Yeah, we're starting to see the Bombers get in front more, attack the ball, and that's how they intercept play.
Well, you talked about the front and centre, and they were just then. Still loose on the ground, the sloppy conditions. No one can really pick it up. Handball over the top. McAdam from the Crocs picks it up late. Got the loose ball. It's going to be hurriedly kicked out of the defensive 50 and out of bounds. On the full, and the Bombers will bring it back in.
Good pressure. Free kick to be taken by Matthew Cantilla. Brings it inboard. Goes to Rowlands. Should kick it long, and he does. Oh, a bit of shepherding off the ball there. That was a definite free kick missed. The soccer off the ground from the Tiwi Bombers is going to be mopped up here. Lake. Handballs to Bosley. Good, calm look up the field and finds Jay Dalhouse just inside defensive 50. His kick now finds Bailey. They've moved it up to centre wing already. Bailey with the chip. That was a terrible kick. Wasn't looking after his teammate at all. Braden Rioli now over the footy. Just can't get hold of it. John Tipalora in hard. So too Hamish Rowlands. Bailey there for the Crocodiles. Pursuing it once, twice. Got it to Dalhouse. Braden Rioli, well done. Good tackle. And the ball out of bounds on the Morris Rioli grandstand side. Some really good signs here from the Tiwi Bombers. Putting the pressure on. 14 minutes gone in this second quarter. 55 plays 18. The Crocodiles in the lead.
Yeah, they've earned their break here. A stoppage gives you a bit of a break, reset in play, and they've done that through really hard pressure.
Yeah, they really looked outnumbered there as Michael Barlow ends up with a hurried right foot kick. Travis Carroll, beautiful judge of the ball in the air, is Travis Carroll for the Crocodiles. And he'll go back and look in. He's got some options, and one of them is Rolf, who takes a great grab.
Kick was precision though. Really just got over those two. Player in front, player behind, straight into the hands of Rolf.
Very strong overhead mark then. He's already kicked 3 for the Crocodiles. The only other triple goal scorer on the field is Francis Vergona Daniels from the Tiwi Islands, who's kicked all of their scores so far. Rolf will come in, 45-degree angle, pretty easy. And now he's got 4.
Well, he's having a field day today, guys. He's really enjoying working up that 50 into the forward 50 and transitioning in front of goals. And he's got a great kick on him. Why wouldn't you be going straight to him every time?
As we just see Travis Carroll here, Heidi, look at that. You mentioned the kick.
Yeah, centimetres in it. And precision, taking it above his head, right out in front. Full extension. No way the defender's going to get a spoil in there.
And it was a good defender, Dom. It was Jason Purantatamera, and he had Monaghetti behind him. He's sliced them both.
Yep, beautiful kick indeed. 61 plays 18. 16 gone in this quarter. Looks like Farah down there on the bench, taking a breather, quite literally. Bit of a lie down. Ball tossed high. Gallo wins that one easily. Picking it up is Adam Tippenwoody. Nice pick-up. Good handball out to Rowlands. Trying to get onto his right boot. Caught with the footy. That's a wonderful tackle by Bugaja. One of the hard nut midfielders for the Crocodiles. Another good kick. Well done. Nice mark. Pops it up.
Yeah, starting to use the width here.
And
never
Mark
need to
taken.
roll and go.
Yeah, indeed. Kane Councillor now playing on. Little left foot chip out wide here to Hamish Rowlands, who in some ways doesn't look like much of a footballer, but he just keeps on racking it up. That kick was no good, however. McAdam does mop it up. Back to Bugaja. Goes to Rolfe. Good pursuit there came from J.D. McLennan. Lovely kick. Jordan Bailey. Man on the mark is John Tipalura. So Bailey. The run came from Demamil, but out wide he goes to Jonathan Ross. Has a bounce if you don't mind. Runs his full measure, kicks long inside 50, into space. Running at the space and running hard at it was Burke. Couldn't take it. Monaghetti comes crashing through. Burke goes again. Tackled, loses the footy. Monaghetti tries to palm his way through. Hamish Rowlands in hard. Yeah. And the umpire pays a free kick. And this will go to Monaghetti.
Worked tirelessly today. Well deserved.
He's a very hard worker. Takes that free kick deep in defence.
Yeah, he just got held there. Going for it. Contest. Bit of a push in the back. Free kick will go to Bailey.
What do they call
Bailey?
it? The unrealistic attempt.
That's right.
Yeah, look, it may well have been that, but he certainly had him squared up in that middle of the back. And Bailey's kick is a short pass to Travis Carroll. Carroll then across to Jonathan Ross, who goes in short again. And it's a grass cutter, and Michael Barlow, had to take the mark on his haunches. And a free kick 50 has been paid.
Tough. That's
what?
tough.
What was the interference?
Going over the mark.
Yeah.
But he didn't move over the mark.
No,
or he stuck out the hand to lay the tackle on Barlow,
Correct.
who was clearly playing on.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a tough one. That was a 50-50 call, that one.
And
really
the umpire hadn't called it, and he's called it a goal, and Michael Barlow has got his second. And the Crocs move to 9 goals, 7. And 10 goals, 7. And the Tiwi Bombers are 3 straight kicks.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Let's see.
Here's the replay.
So it goes to play on.
Oh, he did have a hold of his jumper as he stood up, but yeah, still tough. That's pretty tough calling that one.
Gee, that is
over
a
the mark.
tough
Is it
call.
over the mark? Would that have been the call? Because he
Well-
wasn't over the mark.
Well,
but-
if we had another look at that replay, I think you'd find that umpire Morrison was going to set it up probably about a metre or 2 back, but both players were in that position.
Right.
So, and he called time. So, anyway,
Doesn't matter. It's on the board. 67 plays 18. Robertson up high. Daz down to Jonathan Ross. Has been in the action in the last few minutes. High up and under. Almost the mark taken. Well done. Good call. Oh, nice little throw there from Rolfe up to Dalhouse. And off to Ed Barlow. The long locks flowing. And he kicks to good position. Monaghetti coming in well. Cut it off initially. Michael Barlow on the charge. What option has he got here? He's got about 3. So he goes to Billy Rolfe. Good interference there. Well done from the Tiwi Bombers. Handball comes out to Rowlands. Another little one on the up there to Brendan Cantilla. And a free kick paid will go as a hold to the Tiwi Bombers.
Yeah, they had a bit of a wrestle there after the footy was delivered.
So the free kick will come back here. I think it's coming back to Donald Mungatobi.
yeah, good awareness for the out-of-zone umpire there, because the ball was well and truly outside that 50.
In fact, the free kick, just checking here, Mungatobi. So what can he do with it? Chips it sideways. A little bit of lazy play there from Patrick Puruntatameri. Steps one way, then the other. Travis Carroll's got him. He tries to handball it. Carroll on the left boot. Will he bounce it through? No, he won't. Barlow gets hold of it in the goal square and bangs it through for a goal. Patrick Puruntatameri slaps his thigh. Southern Districts 11-7-73. The Tiwi Bombers 3 straight 18.
Do we put that down to fatigue a little bit there? Skill execution error. Probably should have taken the mark and then gone on the far side, but got run down really. Too much pressure there from a Districts player and forced the turnover. And Ed Barlow just, rather than grabbing it, taking his time, resetting, he just goes one touch, tap onto the foot, straight in here, right hand. We tap it onto our boot there and straight through. Nice and pretty to watch. Yeah, a little bit fancy, a bit cute, but you know that's fine. He can do that.
He's a fantastic player, isn't he?
Yeah.
Have I got that right? That was Ed Barlow's first goal.
Yep.
Well, he's been busier than that, and he's had a hand.
He's
He's
been
probably
terrific.
about 5 or 6. So from an assist point of view, well, free kick. Sorry, not a free kick. It's a warning because Tiwi didn't have players inside the 50, defensive 50. So 6, 6, and 6. I'll restart play now. Robinson. Oh, Moneghetti. Ball comes crashing straight down. It lands with Dowhouse, who gives it off to his running teammate in Kyle. Kyle goes in short, picks out Rolf. He, over the top was the Tiwi player. It comes back to Kyle, who sets it up all over. Travis Carroll was Puruntatameri, but let it go, and play on is the call. On the ground and through the goals goes Jordan Bailey.
And it looks like Tiwi running out of legs here. At the start of the quarter, they were in front of their player, attacking the ball. Really, that intent was up, and the energy and the level of effort. But we can certainly see there that there were a number of Southern Districts players that probably could have grabbed that and ran through. So the footy comes in from the top of the 50. Good pressure. And our Southern Districts player comes through here and kicks it off the ground. And you've got 3 Tiwi Bombers players just lagging behind and no one really putting a lot of pressure on that, on the kicker.
Well, that's 2 goals in time on, Dom. I think Artie's call's right. They are definitely fatigued, the Bombers.
Yep.
That's got to run it out now.
Tends to be what happens. Got to work hard now, the Tiwi Bombers. Moneghetti up high, wins it back. Jonathan Ross in there hard. Gets the footy up to Robertson. Robertson did well, off to Michael Barlow. Barlow now out here to teammate in Kaya Jones. Ball now out wide. Jonathan Ross again. He's been good since he's hit the middle of the ground. Got the footy, just pops it up a little bit. Demamil will take the mark inside 50. Needs to bring the man on the mark back. Plays on. Long kick. Barlow in the contest. Snap. On goal from Billy Rolfe has been touched already in the contest. So a point. Looking to add to his 4, Billy Rolfe, not on that occasion.
Beautiful front and centre there. Just sat right in the front of the pack. Bounced off a hand and put the footy in.
Well, a little bit too much on that from Hamish Rowlands. Came off the fingertips of Jason Puruntatameri and go out of bounds in front of the light tower in that right forward pocket, right of screen.
Trying to do the right thing, though. Trying to move it quickly.
Yeah, that's right. Just skill execution, like I alluded to earlier. It's the fatigue element, and that's when decisions are poorly made.
Moneghetti versus Robinson. Front position, Moneghetti. Bouncing ball, hurried handball out. Balking was Duffy. They come back inside that 50 to the leading Ed Barlow. It bounces off him. Rowlands can't pick it up for the Bombers. Dalhouse can. Hurried right foot kick. Rolfe bouncing. Got taken out. Clayon's the call. Demamil's in there. Rolfe trying to get second and third effort. Puruntatameri picks it up. Runs across the face of goal. Kicks into the middle corridor. And Matty Cantilla thought he had a hold of it. Had 3 bites. No mark pay. Clayon's the call. Vagona Daniels can't get it. And a free kick has been paid against the Tiwi Bombers for incorrect disposal, a throw. And it was Vagona Daniels unlucky, went down there to help out, and it'll be Demamil that takes the shot at goal.
It was always going to be risky, kicking straight back down the corridor there at the top of the 50, and the turnover happened.
And Brendan Cantilla, he almost took the mark.
Yeah, it was close. He had a couple of grabs, there, and had a bit of pressure on him too.
Demamil comes in directly and kicks the Crocs' 13th goal in this second term as we head towards half-time.
They're all getting around him there. What's that, first goal?
First goal, I'd say, for him at the club. Judging by the reaction, they've come from far afield.
Yeah, Demamil really good to get his first goal for Southern Districts, but it just comes through that quick turnover and then getting it in nice in front in that hot spot in front of the goal square, and a throw was paid. So nice, easy kick, I guess, in the end, in front of goal.
How they worked out whether it was Demamil or Ed Barlow to get that free kick, I do not know.
Well, I'm thinking it's height, actually. Dom, Demamil's not the tallest player out there. He might have the same hairstyle.
It's pretty close. Pretty close. 13-8, 86 the Crocodiles, the Tiwi Bombers. 3 straight 18. 25 and a half gone. Close to half-time here. Gallo beaten for it by Monagatti, but the ball socced forward again by the Crocs. Demamil in the action immediately, had Kaya Jones cruising past. Decided not to give to him and went to Kyle. Goes to Bailey. Jordan Bailey runs inside 50, lines up the goal. It's a good long kick. And Jason Purantatameri lets that go over his head, understanding that that was going to go through for a minor score. So 87 plays 18.
Not long to go now, and we really hope that Tiwi Bombers can just play the nice slow play here, a bit of composed footy, and regroup at half-time.
Monagatti couldn't actually keep that to the ground. Duffy picks it up, though. Gives it off to his Gallo, tries to get swinging hand on it. Couldn't quite get it, socket off the ground. Outside the 50, Heenan is worried out of it. They're really putting the pressure on the Bombers there through the tackle. Heenan again on Duffy. Siren sounds to end this first half. 13 goals, 9, 87. The Crocodiles go into the break leading the Tiwi Bombers, who have scored 3 straight goals.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Absolutely zero.
Zero. Yeah, definitely.
It has to be zero. Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
Domestic violence is everybody's business.
And it's not just the physical abuse, it's the things we don't see.
It is hurting our families. It is killing our families.
A lot of people have been silent to this fact, and I think it's about time we all speak up together and say no more to this form of abuse.
No more.
No more. No more family violence.
No more to the family violence.
No more. No more.
No more.
Listen to the kids, make school your story. Help you succeed and rise to glory.
Expect to go to school.
So go the distance. Attend every day. Learn and listen. School holiday rocking, we love our break.
Time with friends and family is always great.
When it's time for school, don't get slack.
Except to go to school, can't wait to get back. So don't cut corners.
Do the full term. It's safe to go to school and it's time to learn. So don't cut corners, do the full term. Make school your story and it's time to learn.
School returns February 2021. Written and authorised by the Northern Territory Government.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
On Territory roads, anything can happen. So you need to drive to the conditions. Speeding can get you into all sorts of trouble. Dirt roads aren't just dusty. When it's hard to see, they're dangerous. At water crossings, remember, you're driving a motor car, not a boat. high water can be deep trouble. All sorts of animals can be on the road, so watch out. And if the weather is bad, slow down, you mob. Drive to the conditions and arrive in good condition.
The time to kickstart your business is now. Get your message across with the experienced local TV production team at Kick Digital. Cost effective, rapid turnaround, exceptional service. Kick Digital. Television production energised.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal for all school-related activities. 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact CFS Gear for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy.
I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
The NTFL clubs and umpires would like to share the following events and messages and thank their sponsors for the 2021 TIO NTFL season. For more information, please visit the relevant club or umpire's Facebook page.
Thanks, Navenka. Back here now, obviously, at TIO Stadium, and all in front of them now, the Tiwi Bombers. What can they do in this all-important third quarter? They started the second quarter really, really well. Lots of heart, lots of endeavour. Now, what do they do? Heidi, what can they put together?
It's really tough to regroup from here because they've tried their hearts out for that probably 15-minute period, 15, maybe 16 minutes, and then the last 10 minutes of that quarter, they were really out on their feet and they lacked a bit of discipline, and the intent and the effort was certainly quite low. Now, hopefully they've had a bit of time to regroup, reset, have a bit of fluid on board, and hopefully they can and start really strong. They need to start strong in this quarter, set the tone for the rest of the third quarter, and hopefully we can start to see a bit more expansive play, skill execution, some of those errors that came into the game at the end of the second quarter there. They need to fix that up. It's just we need to make sure that those sort of marks are taken when they're gimmies like that. They've got to be taken and roll and go. We go quick and we use the speed that they've got.
Underway here in the third quarter. Patrick Gallo in the ruck contest wins that down well for the Crocodiles. Adam Tipungwuti first there for the Tiwi Bombers. Stolen away really nicely by Jordan Bailey. Jason Purantatameri, lovely pick-up, and then a free kick for a hold. Yeah, well deserved. Got himself in front, then the pick-up was excellent. What can he do with it here? Needs some movement. Looks to go out wide now. Brendan Cantilla offered the long lead. He goes in that direction, takes the mark at half-back. Well done. Bugaja on the mark. He goes sideways. And Hamish Rowlands, been impressed with him. His effort's been great. Long kick now. Matt Duffy just overran it. Coming through strongly, Dale Cunningham. Handball on the up from Brendan Cantilla. Bugaja again hard in the contest. Loses the ball here to the Tiwi Bombers. The high up and under. No mark taken by Counsellor. Sideways handball from Bosley. Went off to Bowden. Back to Bosley. Gave the big man in Gallows a task. He was up to it. Ogden has a bounce through the middle. Lovely little chip up to Ed Barlow. He picked that up like it was a dry ball. Goes out to Kyle. Kyle out wide. Michael Barlow just cruising the wing as he always does. Lovely long kick down to Dalhouse, but getting in the road again. Jason Purantatameri just warming to the task here this afternoon.
Setting up well behind the ball and just anticipating the ball drop. And they've got a bit of free play here on the wing.
He did. He unloaded a torp and it landed in the hands of Cantilla, Brendan Cantilla, over the top. Didn't quite get there though. They've still got possession. Cunningham sends it, tries to get it inside the 50, bouncing. Wanamiri gets it, fumbles it once, but then recovers quickly. Left foot into the goal square. The contest is there, loose on the ground. Ogden cleans up. In fact, it was Bowden cleans up, and he'll restart play very quickly through McAdam. McAdam, left foot. They bring it out the Morris Rioli grandstand side. They can't get it, or unlucky there. Patrick Yellow couldn't pick it up. It came off Patrick Heenan's foot, but it'll go out of bounds on the full, and Brodie Lake will be the recipient of a free kick. They're just, umpires are conferring there. Did it go about? Yep, went out of bounds on the full. It's what we thought. And Lake will take the free kick to restart play.
Yeah, a couple of spare plays here from Southern Districts down the wing. Tiwi Bombers need to be very careful here on a quick transition.
Brodie Lake, the long kick now down to Gallo. Well done, I thought, by Adam Tipungwuti. Free kick was paid. Jonathan Ross handballed off to Duffy. Bugaja by himself in the centre square. Gathers now at centre half forward. Spearing pass, looking for Dalhouse. Wasn't really in the contest. Ball spilled. Had the shot at goal. Dare I say it burnt his teammate in Ed Barlow standing at the top of the goal square. Gee, kicked it behind as Jay Dalhouse. First score for the third quarter here for the Crocodiles. They move on to 13-10-88, the Tiwi Bombers. 3-1-19, 3 minutes gone in the third.
Hamish Rowlands, his target was Tipalura, but cutting it off was Farah. Loose. And now it's been socketed forward. Bowden and his teammate Bailey interfered with each other. It's socketed off the ground. Michael Barlow gets a bad bounce. The Tiwi Bombers not worrying about picking it up. They're just trying to soccer it on. There's been interference at the kick. Kicking in danger, in fact, I think he's paid.
Yeah, he had a couple of goes at it, didn't he? Yeah, second soccer off the ground there was slightly in danger with some hands down at the ball.
And Jordan Bailey goes back in board looking for Ogden, who fumbles first time, but he's got plenty of time to recover and picks out Bowden on half back. Bowden sends it out wide, centre wing. As Bosley balks and then picks out a teammate, Begija, with a beautiful pass. Begija turns and fires it back inside 50. On to Jonathan Ross, who plays on quickly with an inside-out right foot snap at goal that goes across the front and through for a point.
Yeah, exciting style of play there from Southern Districts, but didn't finish off, and they probably needed to there. They had a couple of players in at the hot spot, top of the goal square, that they just needed to put that one in. He went check side, outside of the boot, didn't pay off.
Jason Porrentata-Merry with ball in hand. We've seen a couple of decent torpedoes in this game. Jason Porrentata-Merry's unloaded one of them. This time the short pass to Adam Tipungwuti. So Tipungwuti now called to play on. Billy Rolfe, that was always going to happen. Steps around him beautifully. Now the long kick down the wing. Farah got himself in good position quickly. Competing for it, Cunningham. Losing out there to Kyle. Across to Bugager, who's just cleaned up in this third quarter so far. Hands off to Duffy. Duffy on the up to Clark. Clark, a lovely little kick, finds Dalhouse. 40 from goal. Almost played on. Patrick Heenan on the mark, and there's loose players everywhere. Well done to Rowlands. Just got a fist in there. Now goes back and picks up the footy. Handballs to himself, if you don't mind. Soccers away. No one really working for him there to give the handball to. He's back in there again. Rowlands gets a handball out. Picked up by Rolfe. The high up and under. Jonathan Ross, the only one underneath it, takes the mark. 45 from goal in the corridor.
Yeah, can't fault the endeavour from the Tiwi Bombers there. Lots of pressure around the ball, but just Southern Districts are taking a bit more time, more composure, looking for their teammates, working together as a bit of a team unit. Got a kick at the top of the 50 here. It's a big kick with a heavy footy.
Jonathan Ross steps inside 50. Difficult kick indeed. Down near the boundary line, gathered by Jason Porrentata-Merry, has a bounce, runs his way away from Ed Barlow, cruises through defensive 50. Lovely kick to Austin Wanna-Merry, got room to move, needs to put ball to boot and does. Goes towards Francis Vergona-Daniels, was cut off by Ogden. Bosley in, gets it away to Bull. Handball to Ogden, Ogden taken high, and will take the free kick in the middle of the ground.
But even looking at that contest there, just representation was all white, red and black. There was no representation of the Tiwi Bombers jerseys, and that's where they're going to break down.
Quick restart for Bosley and then out to Luke Kyle. Kyle goes in with a bouncing kick, looking for Michael Barlow. Defenders for the Tiwi Bombers are equal to it though, but there's a high tackle in there again. Just a little bit of sloppiness coming in there. I don't think it was deliberate. Just a little bit of fatigue and sloppiness. I've got to say that the risk for Districts with a 70-point margin as they short pass out to Ed Barlow, who then goes in, spears one in short to a colleague, Demamil. Demamil looked to go play on quickly, and he does, but he centres that kick one-handed off the hands, picked up by Farah and through for a goal.
And that's probably what should have happened last time with the goal attempt on the check side. Should have just gone to the hot spot and worked together. They had numbers around the footy and picked up nice crumb effort there to kick through.
What I was going to say there, Dom, was that as Demamil looks for a teammate across the top of that square.
Yeah, 3-on-1 there. So you see too many Tiwi players go up for the ball, and we've got a player on the outside who just picks up the crumb, runs through and kicks the goal.
Yeah, the risk for me for the Crocodiles is you've now got yourself a 76-point margin, and do you sit back and wait for the easy kick, or do you get in there and earn it? And that's really, I think, the challenge for the Crocs at the moment.
Yeah, and that bit of complacency and what's the motivation and the purpose. You've got to have some sort of purpose, and I think they'll keep going the lateral kick. They'll keep trying to open the game up and really maybe looking forward to their future games.
Ball tossed high in the middle, one down by Robertson to Dalhouse. Adam Tipungwuti went hard and straight for the footy, was taken high. Just really, really solid play there from Adam Tipungwuti and earned himself the free kick.
This might pep up some of his teammates here.
Well, that's the way to do it. That was terrific play. Needing to move the footy now. Does do that, goes sideways. Kick wasn't as good as it could have been. Was aiming for Cunningham. Finds him in the end. Kicks inside 50, target as usual. Austin Wanna-Merry beaten forward on this occasion by Jesse Clark. And they swing it out wide again, just opening up the game immediately. McAdam on the bounce to Barlow. On the pursuit there was Brendan Cantilla. And does he achieve the turnover? No, he does not, but they win a boundary throw in just to the right of that scoreboard. 95 plays 19, almost 9 minutes gone in this third quarter.
Yeah, still a win there. To win a stoppage, you get to reset, like I've mentioned throughout the game.
Monaghetti there was busy directing, missed the throw in, and it was Robinson that got clean hands and away, but it's still, no one can pick it up cleanly. Socket off the ground there by Cantilla, Brendan Cantilla. Begona Daniels can't quite get it. Coming through his Ed Barlow. Socket off the ground though by Counsellor. They're just keeping it forward. This time Heenan sockers it forward. He's got the young McLennan, John McLennan, can't get a hold of it cleanly. The Crocs are going to try and get it out of there. Oh, McAdams all day got wrapped up by Heenan. And Patrick Heenan has been awarded the free kick. Well, McAdam thought he had more time than not, did he not?
Maybe not much talk around the contest, communication. Thought he was out and the player was right there to swoop.
I'm going to say to you, Patrick Heenan must have looked up and gone, I can't believe he hasn't got rid of it.
Tight angle here from Heenan.
Tried to do a bit too much.
Tough one here.
Good player. Going 201 calls for Patrick Heenan.
He'll use all of his experience, no doubt. Wheels around.
Oh, almost. A bit of a shame for McAdam then, because he's had a really great game in that right back pocket all day.
Jesse Clark now brings the ball back into play, goes short to McAdam, plays on quickly to the run of Clark. Clark runs around Andrew Assan. On the move now through Lake. Into the middle of the ground, not a great kick. Turnover here to Cantilla. Confronted by Bailey. Little underground handball came to Bugaja, up to Gallo. District's play been taken high in the middle of the ground as we watch Farah with a long kick on goal. That's a good kick from Farah in these conditions. And Farah, he kicked his second moments ago. Well, now he's kicked his third, one in the first and two now in this all-important third quarter. Southern Districts 15-11, 101. Tiwi Bombers 3-2-20.
Yeah, far cleaner. See this? One touch. And handball out. Expensive handball again with the runner. And a nice kick at the top of the 50, probably about 45 metres out, left foot kick, drills that through. And you see that in the lead up to that goal there, Tiwi Bombers had an opportunity to pick the ball up and it slipped through. It's like a cake of soap out there at the moment. It seems to be slipping through a lot of the hands out there, but if you don't get it one touch and you can't get it on the boot, then they're going to make you pay. And as soon as it turned over, Districts, they get it into their forward line and a goal.
The District's big men, Robertson and Gallo, are playing great roles as link in that midfield as well. Monaghetti got it away there. It's picked up though by Kyle. Doesn't really go very far. Burrowing his head was the Tiwi player, but then coming through was Brodie Lake, right foot kick inside the 50. The lead was Rolf. I don't know what was meant for him, but he got into the open space and gave himself the best advantage and took a mark on his chest.
He's seen Ed Barlow free.
He's picked out Barlow, who's about 20 metres further around and in. And he's going to go back and have a shot at goal from about 45. Good awareness.
Maybe saw how disappointed Ed Barlow was last time when they didn't use him, and he thought, I'm not going to be getting yelled at three-quarter time. I will honour this lead.
And he works so hard, Ed Barlow. He doesn't just do this against the team at the bottom of the ladder. He does this against the top teams.
Barlow come in with his left foot. And 45, but he's pushed it left and it's through for a point.
It's a rare miss. Might have got a bit too close to the man on the mark there. Heavy footy, wet underfoot, but he's a great player, quality player.
Heavy hair.
Heavy hair.
Tiwi now to bring the ball back into play. Jason Purantatameri, the target. Called to play on. Palms off Dalhouse, if you don't mind. The Tiwi big man. The kick. Now taken by Lake after it was spilled. Goes by hand to Kaya Jones. Into Ed Barlow. His sweeping handball looking for Dalhouse. Bailey in there as well. Purantatameri just half picks up and half drops it on the turn. Tippingwoody slaps it in front of himself. Travis Carroll, good one-touch footy. Picked up well. Off to Jonathan Ross. Long kick inside 50. Duffy on the chase. Olsen got the handball away to Counsellor. Counsellor, the long kick out to centre wing. And if it wasn't deliberate, well, it's out of bounds on the full. No decision necessary there by the umpire.
Correct.
So centre wing. Crocodiles take the free kick inboard immediately to Bosley. McAdam. Long inside the middle. Monaghetti spoil. Went back and grabbed the footy. Brought down by Jonathan Ross, who just stuck to the task. And players not very happy with each other just at the moment, to say the least.
Well, Luke Holm not very happy at all. Or is that Bailey? No, it's Jordan Bailey not very happy at all as they restart play. Duffy, centre wing, picks out Rolf. In fact, it was Michael Barlow. Spins and turns. They're still there. Loose on the ground. Bowden with a left foot, no look, kick in. Almost hit the leading Rolf on the chest. In fact, he did. Cleaned up by Jason Purantatameri, but his kick's chopped off by Duffy for the Crocs, and the Crocs have a chance to settle it and go wide. They do. Bosley has come down.
McAdam working really hard here. His run is really impressive. Not only does he work in attack, but he's that two-way running in defence.
And the halfbacks have really given themselves some licences. Bowden was the one again to clean it up. Bombers, though, equal to the task. Now they've got some runners and they've got some space, and it's through Tip and Woody in the middle. He took a bounce and then took a kick. Picks out Begona Daniels. He's already scored 3. He balks on his right, goes to the square, off the hands and through for a point. The Tiwi supporters on their feet.
Yeah, the crowd coming into the game here. That was exciting.
Southern District's on the move now from defence. Lake up to Ross. He'll keep moving, plenty of space. Has his bounce. Long kick inside 50. Demamil probably just came up a little bit too far. Ed Barlow charging through. On the up was Camden Vigona Ross by hand. Dalhouse takes it. Jordan Bailey kicks under pressure from Camden Vigona Ross, and the ball out of bounds in that forward pocket, the outer side.
Yeah, skill area there off the side of the boot, trying to snap in front of goal. We've got a stoppage here on the far right pocket.
So 15 minutes gone here in this third quarter. The Crocs have only added the 2 goals. Tiwi yet to add another goal. 15-12, 102 to 3-3-21. What can Southern Districts do here?
In that right forward pocket, free kick. In fact, the ball will be thrown in again, I think. It came in a bit short. And the umpire's saying do it again. Both ruckmen caught short. Gallo, although, had led to the ball. Gallo versus Monaghetti. It's a little bit better, it's a little bit shallow. Jonathan Ross across to Michael Barlow, who right foot snaps it in. It goes over the top and the heads. They're trying to clean it out there. That was Counsellor. In fact, it was Olsen, couldn't get it there, and it's been picked off the ground and sent through for a point. The edge ahead.
Looking down the middle of the park here, Tiwi fullback.
So Patrick Heenan shaping for a torpedo. So, of course, what you expect, he goes short. Exactly right. Sylvester Olsen, well done. Read it beautifully, takes the mark. And Heenan now says, kick to the Morris Rioli grandstand side, and he does exactly that. Long bomb. Monaghetti in a good position, and will get the free kick to the big man. He worked his way in front. Well, in fact, the free kick going to McAdam. And there's going to be a 50-metre penalty. That was poor play, Braden Rioli. He had the ball in hand. He had to give it back to the player that he was directed to give it to, and instead he put it on the ground.
Yeah, that's a coach killer. I'm not going to lie there. That would be disastrous. If this game was super close and highly competitive, you would just be not very happy with that player there at all. And I know that they're frustrated at the moment.
Charlie McAdam, can he kick a goal? Can he ever? The running back pocket for the Southern Districts Crocodiles. He's worked really hard. That is a really good goal, Charlie McAdam.
Yeah, deserves that one for sure. And you make your own luck, and we've spoken about that today, and he's been working so hard. His run, in defence in particular, I've been really impressed with. And you can see there, Rioli had it in his hands. If he didn't have it in his hands, it would be okay, but because he had it in his hands, you have to give it back to the player.
Monaghetti realising what had happened and bent down straight away to give it back to McAdam. And spot on about McAdam. Himself and Joel and Michael Bowden have actually really done the work off that back flank and then prepared to back themselves and run forward and set it up for their teammates.
And that's one of the big differences, is that fitness running off their back line.
It also comes with confidence because they know that someone like Ogden and Bosley and these other guys will cover for them further back.
Robertson up in the ruck contest, wins it down to Jonathan Ross, taken high, just kept going. That's impressive. Down into forward 50, off hands, Demamil, good. Handball sideways to Dalhouse, lines it up, splits the middle. Fantastic goal, Southern Districts.
Yeah, that goal could have been avoided, I believe, when we watched the replay in here, because you've got 2 Tiwi players jumping up for the ball, bit of communication around it, and could have quite easily brought that to ground and worked together. So we see the footy come in here, top of the 50, 2 players up. One player probably just needed to go out the back and Districts just take advantage here. You've got one out, nice spare player. Dalehouse does the rest.
Dalehouse kicked beautifully, didn't he? 2 goals he's kicked now, 1 in the first and 1 now in this third quarter. And just sing the praises of Jonathan Ross there too. He could have sort of, I've been taken high, please give me a free. He just kept going.
Yeah. We're approaching, we're at the 19-minute mark, not far from time on now. Puruntatameri has made his way back on the field for Monagatti, who's having a break. Picked up by Heenan, hurried kick. It's just high up and under, travels the full 15, but no one can mark it. Michael Barlow, hands and knees was McAdam, but quick hands across to Duffy and then on to Ogden and then on to the big man Robinson, who's caught as he goes to give the handball away. Play on is the call. Luke Kyle, short pass into Demamil. Demamil hurries back and then looks further forward to the leading Rolf, who's sliding on his knees, takes it on the chest.
Demamil's really starting to make some impact in the second half. He's starting, I'd say he's fairly fit. And he's got some conditioning in his legs, and he's certainly getting to positions now where he's a spare player and they're using him a lot, and Rolf just gets in front of the pack and takes a nice mark.
Well, Rolf's already got 4, and I was pretty impressed then with the effort of McAdam and then on to Ogden, the quick hands and the movement of the ball. As Rolf comes in directly in front, 35 metres out, leans back. No major effort, through for goal number 5 for him for the day.
Yeah, and we spoke about being clean, and if you are clean in these sort of conditions, you can utilise your spares, but at the moment when the Tiwi Bombers have the ball at ground level, there's too much paddling going on and trying to just get it to space, just win the footy, and then you can start to make some decisions. So yeah, that's that handball out and the kick in, nice and low into Demamil, who pushes back nice and hard, has a quick look, and then a nice kick in. Doesn't try and over-kick it into a sliding Rolf.
And the other part too, Heidi, was we've talked about it already, the big men, Patrick Gallo and Dean Robertson. Dean Robertson featured again there.
Playing as a linkman.
With a nice handball.
Yep.
Here he is again in the ruck contest. Neither ruckman really get a hand to that. Jeffrey Puruntatameri, Noel Robertson. Free kick here in the middle of the ground. It will go to the Tiwi Bombers.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He certainly had a piece of it.
So Adam Tipungwoody kicks towards Donald Mungatobi. Can't take possession. Barlow, wrapped up by Mungatobi, out to Bugaja. And as they've done all afternoon, when it gets congested on one side, straight across to the other. Dean Robertson, if you don't mind, going with the left foot and passes it beautifully to Rolf as he comes from the ground, drives it in now to Demamil, and he takes yet another mark inside 50 in this third quarter. That's at least
distance?
3, I reckon.
Yeah, that's right. And you think this is on his distance or a little bit far out?
Or it might be a bit far out, particularly in these conditions.
Yeah, Rolf just returning the favour from the last pass, I think.
Yep, that's right. And we talk about changing lanes in footy, and it's not just the switch kick that they're utilising, it's the 45, changing the lanes from the outside to the corridor, back to the far wing.
So Tom Demamil, he kicked a goal in the second quarter. Opportunity here. It's looking accurate enough. It's not going to have the distance unless they haven't touched it. No. Yes, they have. The signal given, unfortunately, there for Tom Demamil. So a point on the board for the Crocodiles. 18-14, 122 plays the Tiwi Bombers. 3-3-21. We've gone 22 minutes in this third quarter.
Matthew Cantilla brought it out from the full-back line. The kick, though, has been intercepted by the Crocs, but the boundary line will beat them. It'll be thrown in. About 75, 80 metres around from the District's goal. Michael Long, left of screen.
Ruckman's both coming on here, I think.
Yeah, Monaghetti and Patrick Gallo make their way to the throw-in.
Big guys doing really well today. No. It's not a day for the Talls, that's for sure.
No. Gallo got front position as he has done several times today, importantly. Ball comes close to that boundary line again. And out it goes. And Dalhouse remonstrating there with the Tiwi player. Not happy with being held on after that. Free kick's been paid and it's going to go to Dalhouse. Right on the siren of the three-quarter time here at Marara. And will Dalhouse back himself from 80 metres out and have a shot at goal? He's going to go and do it right on the siren.
It's been one of the greatest goals you've ever seen if he kicks this.
Well, he's really going to back himself. He gives it the big mongrel that really... It was a mongrel torpedo that turned into a mongrel kick. And it's gone out of bounds. The quarter time ends. 18 goals, 14, 122. The Crocs plays 3 goals, 3-21.
Love exploring the territory?
If you do, it's good to know that with TIO comprehensive car insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Head on in to Kazali's Palmerston Club. Business meetings, coffee breaks, or just unwinding, Kazali's has you covered. It's the perfect spot for a catch-up with friends, with stylish function areas suitable for any occasion. Sensational meals. Our family-friendly bistro has plenty of delicious options. All the latest machines in our modern gaming room. Get around the pool tables and prove your skills. Fancy a flutter? We've got full betting facilities available. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
So we can feel forever, yeah, feel together, real together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Southern District's in their huddle, getting ready to go back out onto the ground. The Tiwi Bombers are doing exactly the same. Ashley Manakaros, Heidi Thompson and Dominic McCormack with you this afternoon. Southern Districts with a handy, well, more than handy, 101-point lead here at three-quarter time. It was 35 at quarter time, 69 at half-time, and now 101. Heidi, what can the Tiwi Bombers take out of this last quarter? And conversely, what do Southern Districts need to do to really ram the advantage home?
Yeah, you're always really tough in these conditions when you get to three-quarter time, and if you're a Tiwi Bombers player, you're probably thinking, I just want to get to the end of this game, but you have to have some purpose and motivation around that. So the coach might be speaking through some little wins, some small wins around the contest, or being cleaner at ground level, utilising your runners. Now, unfortunately, the conditioning is probably something that's really shown through. So the conditioning of the Southern Districts players in the way of their fitness levels and ability to run is far greater. So you've got to be realistic as well, but you set little goals rather than the overall scoreboard. We can't look at that. We need to maybe focus in on working together as a team, communicating better, no two up in a contest, those sort of things. Conversely, Southern Districts need to go into this quarter thinking, what do we want to get out of it as a team? Rather than maybe goals, how do we set them up and the processes through that?
Ball tossed high, Monagatti beaten forward by Gallo. Lovely touch out to Barlow. And off from Ed Barlow to Michael Barlow. No mark taken by Farah. Trying to crash his way through. Kaya Jones did really well to get a handball out. Lost out to Wanameri. Tiwi Bombers now trying to return the favour, but cut off there nicely by Jesse Clark. Out to the steady Bugaja. Good kick from him to Jonathan Ross. Just keeps the ball moving to Bailey. Little chip inside 50. Can he find a chest? He can't. Jade Dalhouse with the sprint. Beaten to the footy by Rowlands. And the ball out of bounds deep in the forward pocket. Good play there by Southern Districts. Just pushing the ball forward nicely.
Well, just looking here in that forward 50 there, Heidi, there's like 4 Southern Districts players unattended by anyone.
Yeah, and that's the lack of awareness or discipline and knowing to pair off and talk. And you can see Ed Barlow there, all of his experience directing players around.
Gallo, straight down to Rolf. He got wrapped up. He's already kicked 5 today, Rolf. Dalhouse. Borks now gives it across to Ed Barlow. Bugija had it spent before he got it. Then he gets wrapped up heavily, led away with it. Play on is the call. Brodie Lake worries Adam Tippenwoody out of it. But it's picked up by Austin Wanamiri. Sent it up with a great one-handed mark there. And it was picked up by Clark. He takes his time and has a look. Goes in short. Lake was able to move into that middle corridor unattended.
You got Bosley free on the far wing.
Who's run all the way down from half-back.
Yep.
As Lake, though, decides to go to the leading teammate in Travis Clark, punched away by Jason Purantatameri to Wanamiri onto Hamish Rowlands, who gets back onto that right foot, the same as he's done all day, and he kicks it to a 2-on-1 contest where the Bombers don't come away with it.
Bosley up to Ed Barlow, just sticks out the big right mitt and drags it down. Players on the move. Just wheels around. Had a number of options there. Pops it onto the chest of Kyle. Rowlands on the mark. Rolf was on the lead there from full forward. Kyle's kick is poor. Cut off here by Councillor. They get in each other's way there. Really got no one to kick to the Tiwi Bombers. That's the problem.
Yeah, they've all squeezed now. They are all in the D50. Couple in the middle of the park. And one just outside of the 50. Michael
Bowden. The fake move there. Handball one way. Instead goes on the kick to Barlow. Good pressure on Barlow. Tried to get it to Bowden. The only way he did was because Rowlands overran it. Now the lovely kick from Michael Bowden onto the chest of Farah. Well, it wasn't pretty in the lead up from Southern Districts, but Farah with an opportunity here to kick his third for the afternoon.
Yeah, if TB Bombers are going to squeeze like that, they've got to make sure that they're shutting down the key men. And Farah here running in.
Farah on the move. Left foot kick. Will it make the distance? It's over the umpire's white hat. And through for the first goal of this last quarter. Jonathan Farah with 3.
Yeah, I'd be pretty disappointed as a coach there because we should have had a Tiwi Bombers player right on the goal line there. And if you have a look at the replay here, Ed Barlow sneaky with his snap through. And just a fumble from the Tiwi Bombers player allowed a nice forward entry into really a spare. There were 2 players there, Southern Districts players, that could have taken that. And if you see the kick come through, I think if you've got, well, we don't get to see it there, but if you had a player right on the goal line, you might have actually got a touch on that ball.
Well, the margin really creeping out now. 3.5 minutes gone. 19 goals, 14, 128 plays, 3 goals, 21 points. Waiting for the players to set. They're taking their time to get back into that square. Gallo again. Monaghetti got his hands on it. It was Bailey, though, wrapped up and then slung to the ground and will get caught holding the ball. And the Bombers...
Got a runner here on the right, haven't used.
Through the effort of Counsellor. Oh, it was a late... The kick was fatigued. I'll give it that. It goes to Rollins, who then tries to dance around. He really doesn't have any assistance. He handballs to himself, but he gets pressured, put under it. And a free kick will go back to Rollins for a little sneaky kicking in danger.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Hands were at the ball and there was a boot in there.
And Rollins sets it up centre wing. Monaghetti interfered with as he went for it. Tries to regather one hand. Barlow picked it up. He's wrapped up and dragged to the ground. Play on is the call. It's picked up by Michael Bowden from the Crocs, who then got dealt with late by Braden Rioli after disposal. The ball lands in the hands of... Is that Rolf? It is. Who's already kicked 5. And he will go back and have a deliberate shot at goal from the kick downfield. No, he won't. He goes out wide. It looks like Ross, who balks steps, gets around the diving Puran Tatameri. Just as he kicked, he got interfered with on the kick, but it won't make any difference because Ross has kicked his first for the day.
Yeah, that was a lovely goal, and Ross has been working really hard in this game. Impressive, and great to see some reward for effort there. But not only that, a team goal. You see on the replay here, kicking into the forward line. I think this might have been paid downfield. Yep, so paid downfield, and Rolf has a look, shapes up to kick, then actually goes out towards the pocket, and on the bounce, the player picks it up, and in fact there's a shepherd through, so that the ball can actually get kicked through the stick, so it was great.
Yeah, Luke Kyle was the one who put the shepherd on against Rollins, and he's still recovering down there. Had
might have got winded.
Knee in the hip, I think, to Kyle. So back in the middle, Barlow, the ball slapped out of his hand there initially. Patrick Heenan beaten for it by Bailey, who's been excellent out of the middle. Handball off to Bowden. Kicking skills are excellent. He gets that out to Michael Barlow, sweeps an ugly handball and turns it over. You don't say that very often to Dale Cunningham, but they get it back again straight away through Jones, off to McAdam. McAdam, a long kick down there. The target was Jonathan Ross, but the boundary line will beat he and his opponent.
Comedy of errors there. A couple of turnovers, maybe some tired bodies in amongst that group.
6 minutes down in this last quarter, 134 plays, 21, 34 scoring shots to 6 in favour of the Crocs.
Robertson uses his body well and keeps Monaghetti out of it. The handball gets chopped off by Heenan. The Bombers can get away with a little bit here. Vergona Daniels, who's their only goal scorer for the day, is in the centre of the field. Wobbly old torpedo lands in the hands of Lionel Ogden for the Crocs, who takes 2 steps and sends it out into the spaces of centre wing where Michael Bowden is. He gives it off to his running teammate, steps back inside, and that was Clark. Then back to Bowden. Bowden to Robinson, off to the running Duffy, and the big men have played a hand here the whole way. And Duffy has picked out Michael Barlow, who then goes further deeper into the pocket and picks out his teammate Luke Kyle, who's been very serviceable all day.
Yeah, and Kyle was free there in the pocket. Great to see that they honour that. But a really nice lead up for the big men, like you said, but also a nice team unit style passage of play. Using the connectors running through, and hopefully we get a kick through here for a goal.
Let's see what Kyle can do. He's had a very serviceable game today. He's been very busy in that midfield. Right foot, easy enough. Goal umpire William Wood doesn't move, and Kyle gets his second for the day.
And these are the sort of goals that if I was coaching Southern Districts, I'd be really pleased with, because you can see that there's some real team unity in the midfield, but also linking up into the forward line and being unselfish and giving it off to a spare player and owning that goal and not just going for broke and having a snap, whatever it might be.
Well, the thing is, though, in this passage of players who are watching it come through, the actual ball, and even if we went back 2 passages before that, the ball never hit the ground.
Yeah, that's it. Clean, hitting targets. Yep. Effective kicks under limited pressure, but you still got to hit your target.
Far better team play too in this last quarter than what there was to begin the third quarter from the Crocodiles, and literally the reward on the board. The umpire sets himself, tosses the ball up high. Robertson again goes high, stolen away by Patrick Heenan. Beautiful fake. Got rid of Ed Barlow. Long kick down inside 50 and a hold is the call. Play on advantage. Goal. Tiwi Bombers.
Well, they desperately needed that, didn't they? Heenan's been great, I think, in the middle of the pack there, just clean and working his way through congestion. And I believe it might have been a hold. Is that right?
Yeah, it was. It was just in that contest then. Jesse Clark had his left hand. We'll watch the replay here. Gee, Gallo got, Robinson got very high then, but look at Heenan out of the middle.
Yeah, just driving his legs. I really love that. Rate it. You take the first couple of steps and you get a nice kick into the forward line.
Who was holding who?
I'm not sure about that, but you know what? You own it. Yeah, I think they really needed that. Might just spark something in the fourth quarter.
Braden Rioli to the goal kicker there, the number 13, kicking the goal for the Tiwi Bombers.
Robinson down. Free kick's been found. There's a hold off the ball. It'll go to Michael Barlow. No. Picked out a teammate at centre half forward there. Out wide to Ed Barlow. Here they come. Short pass to Farah.
Yeah, some tired players out there now. And it's going to be tough from here on in. You're going to have to show a bit of gut running, a bit of heart to get to position. Another spare player from Southern Districts here.
And that's Michael Barlow, picked out by Jonathan Farah. They edge it closer and edge it forward.
He's had a great game, Barlow.
He has. So what can he do from here? 35 metres out, off to the right, and through for a point.
Yeah, that's unlucky. If he gets another chance, I think he'll make amends with that kick.
Well, he kind of stabbed at a little bit there, if we got to see a replay. But Jason Purantatameri goes in short to another Purantatameri, and that's Jeffrey, who takes his time, then just puts it straight on the boot. And there was Cantilla, though, punched away. There we have Bull. Underground handball, picked up, though, by Michael Barlow, who got it back to him. They're not quite to pick it up. Bull goes in. Hurried handball. The big guy there again is Gallo. Back to Bull. Bowden can go through from 50 and puts it up into the goal square. Demamil is there, drops back. But it is all Tiwi, and they will hopefully relieve some pressure through Jeffrey Purantatameri.
Yeah, great mark there in defence, but needed to go on the other side. You've got to go away from congestion, away from density, we call it.
So goes with the torp, does Jeffrey Purantatameri. Target is Monagatti. 3 grabs at it, and the umpire says, yep, you can have that one. Doesn't stop trying. Jack Monagatti is an absolutely superb performer for the Tiwi Bombers. Touched off hands there by the sound of that. Jesse Clark tries to wrap it up, can't do so. Off hands, Camden Vigona Ross kicks it out wide and goes to Patrick Purantatameri. Needs to move this quickly and does. The high up and under. Rioli, Braden have an opportunity. Goes with the snap. Does he kick it? He does. Well done, Braden Rioli. He was the last man standing from the contest. Puts it through on the snap. That is a good goal.
Yeah, he's been exciting, Rioli, and he's just starting to come into the game here in this fourth quarter. Electric speed, and just summed it up really well then. You could see he was thinking about hitting it to the top of the square, and then he thought, no, I'm going for broke here, and lovely kick. Kick into the forward line, and you see actually 2 players go down off their feet there, Southern Districts players, which allows Rioli just that time and space that he needed to sum it up. And what a kick. And that just might get the Tiwi Bombers up and about and really fighting out the last bit of this game.
Well, they have been working very hard through that centre, through the midfield when there is in the ball ups. Gallo will
Heenan's had a fair bit of impact in the middle there.
Hamish Rowlands has gone in. Got it quite high then. Ball was loose on the ground. Ross is trying to pick it up. Can't. Paddling it forward. Farah comes from half back. Socket off the ground by Jeffrey Purantatameri. Trying to use his body. Robert Bull picks it up for the Crocs across to Brodie Lake. Kick's not great to Michael Barlow. He's got time though. Cantilla wraps him up. It's intercepted by Duffy. Back to Barlow. That's Michael Barlow. To the running Brodie Lake, but the ball will go out of bounds directly in front of the Morris Rioli grandstand here at Marara Football Stadium and will be thrown in.
Effective pressure from the Tiwi Bombers earns them a stoppage.
Yeah, he did well. Put Michael Barlow under pressure on a few occasions there. Such a great player, though. Great to see a player of that stature playing in this competition. Gallo with the ruck contest did beautifully. Straight down to Jonathan Ross, stepped his way through and then was offloaded after he disposed of the ball. Kick down to Jay Dalhouse. He takes a good mark at centre half forward. Wheels around. Looks for and finds Bailey on the lead. Goes low. Looking for Barlow. Michael Barlow just creates a bit of space for himself. Unselfishly goes to Ed Barlow. Don't know whether that was the right decision. He goes to Farah. Has to try and step his way through trouble. Snaps on goal. The team play's gone a bit overboard there, Heidi, I think.
Or potentially confidence a little bit.
Maybe.
Kick earlier, because I just thought he was going to shape up to do a drop punt then, and he just didn't back himself and went the hands instead.
Had to go for goal.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the gap was closing. Perhaps that's why. Patrick Heenan loads up, sends it out to the scoreboard side. Over the top was Michael Bowden with a thumping spoil. And the ball went out of bounds, will be thrown in 70 metres around to the right of your screen. 14 and a half minutes gone in this final term. 142 plays 33. The Crocs, comfortable.
109 is the lead. Ruck contest. Rowlands won it down initially, but from that contest, Jonathan Ross gathered, tackle. Well done, Austin Wanameri. Stuck to the task. Receives the footy. What can he do with it? Pops it up here and goes to Matthew Cantilla. Takes the mark. As you said a moment ago, though, Heidi, unable to switch the play, are they? So they're constantly trying to work their way through congestion. Geez, Lake was held there. Gathers the footy. Gee, took that on well, Brodie Lake. Got it to Bull. Little chip goes to Bailey, using the runners well here. Bosley smothered well there by Matthew Cantilla. Close to the boundary line. And the ball tumbled over. Yes, I thought that might have been worth a look too. Heidi off the boot there of Kyle, perhaps. No one questioning it.
No,
Stay quiet. It'll be a boundary throw.
Right.
Yeah, I think Paddy Heenan might have been a bit lucky to get away with the push then too.
We'll call it square.
Yeah. Rowlands. Punched away though by Robinson on the second go as Jeffrey Purintatameri's cleaned up as he kicked. Still got the kick away though. Well done. Sliding though, unfortunately. Couldn't quite get rid of it. The ball's still locked up there. That was Cunningham. Now it comes out through Michael Bowden with a little sneaky kick to Bosley, who's found himself some space. Bosley was looking for the big man, Robinson, and it was chopped off by Matthew Cantilla. Gives it off to Ozzy Wanameri, back to Matthew Cantilla with it. Begona Daniels coming from a long way to Shepherd, but misses his mark. And ball, meantime, is inside the forward 50. Clark gets it for the Crocs, dances around one. Hurried though, Lake takes one step, puts it on the boot. Badira's there, can't quite get it. Handball up though, here they come again, through Kyle. Luke Kyle, long kick. Picks out his teammate in Ogden. Ogden gives it off to the running McAdam. McAdam actually sends it over to his running Farah. Then Farah gives it off to a teammate in Dalhouse who gets dealt with heavily high and downfield, and they'll go back and have a shot. I would suggest inside 50 it'll be Barlow.
And that's just how quick they can transition Southern Districts. Tiwi Bombers worked really hard to get into their forward line, but they need to make it count now.
Ed Barlow with that long kick there, and the mark paid. Yes, it is going to be paid. So paid there to Jordan Bailey. He's had a good game through the midfield and an opportunity here to kick his second goal. He kicked one in the second quarter. And with the scoreboard showing 21-17, can he add to a difficult angle, slippery ball? He's not giving himself much space at all here. Runs out, snaps on goal, goes with the left and puts that straight through the middle for his second. Well done, Jordan Bailey. Another player receiving, I think, just rewards there, Heidi.
Yeah, definitely. And if you put yourself in the right spot, you're going to get the rewards. And if you work hard and you run, I thought Cantilla for the Tiwi Bombers is starting to have a bit more run, and that led to that forward entry. But the quick turnover and transition just allowed for that kick in, and just outside of the goal square takes a grab. It was pushed out after he'd already had control, and then wheeled around on his left for a nice snap.
Yeah, well done. Southern Districts now 22-17, 149. Sorry, 22-17, 100. Oh, the scoreboard there. 22-16, 148. Tiwi Bombers 5-3-33. What a lead they have. 115 points, 18 and a half in.
Ogden just goes through, dodges the arm, comes back to Michael Barlow, then over to Duffy who balks. He gets slung to the ground as he kicks. Heenan cuts it off for the Bombers. Then he's got choices here. Then it ends up in the hands of Ozzy Wanamiri from 50 who goes into the square. Punched away though by the Crocs defenders. Out of bounds on the... And it'll be thrown in just to the right.
It might have been Bosley again. He's been
Was it
superb back there.
Yeah,
He
well
really,
done.
his body work is exceptional. He was behind the player and still managed to get a fist on it.
That build-up came from sort of nothing then out of the middle, I felt, for the Bombers. Suddenly they had vacant players.
They did, and
in
that's
space.
Probably because they're not maybe working as hard in that two-way running, so they had a couple of runners there ready to give.
Dean Robinson, definite height advantage. They can't quite clean it up, and it's guided out of bounds by Michael Barlow with skill. And the ball will be thrown in this time. It's going to be roughly 30 metres around that right forward pocket. Michael Long centre end here at Marara.
Still got a couple of free players around the contest here. I know it's goal side, but free Crocs players. Someone has to go to that player.
Counsellor versus Robinson. In there is Heenan, loose on the ground. Both players diving, can't pick it up. Comes out with a quick handball. No one can get real clean possession. Clark tried to, then it ends up in the hands of Ogden with a hurried kick to Robinson, and there's the big ruckman again, and this time it ends up in Ed Barlow's hand, who sends it up to centre wing. Beautiful foot pass. He's picked out Jonathan Ross, and then he's continued on to get the ball back, and then Barlow again, this time over the top to Demamil. They've edged towards centre wing scoreboard side. Demamil puts it up and over, and it's Barlow again. 3 possessions in a passage of play, and there's only been 6 possessions. It comes back to Michael Barlow. Running around there was Kyle. Then it's back to Ed Barlow again. 4th possession in 7 passages, and it ends up in Dalhouse's hand from Barlow, who then turns it back inside. He's got Jordan Bailey, the last goal kicker, all alone, unattended middle corridor.
Yeah, working hard up the ground. Bailey finds himself free in front of goals, about 30 metres out.
No, Barlow's going to have to put some intensive hand cream because he's had on those hands in this conditions. He's had the ball so much, he's going to end up with blisters. As Jordan Bailey comes in, just goes across the right. Well, I think that passage of play deserved a better outcome than that.
It was a good team effort in the way of working the ball up the ground.
Jason Purantatameri now brings the ball back into play, goes to Brendan Cantilla. Up the grandstand wing. Target is Rowlands. Takes the mark. Called to play on. Little handball. And he's poleaxed into the ground there by Farah. Lose the footy. Jonathan Ross gathers. Goes to Kyle. And a free kick paid initially for the throw. And that will be the free kick paid.
Yeah.
So the free kick to go to Brendan Cantilla.
It was actually a very good free kick because when you consider the umpire was behind the play, he's done well to actually pick that up.
So Cantilla, what can he do with this footy? Shapes for the torpedo and does exactly that. Pack forms. Mark taken by, believe it or not, by the fullback here at right half forward for Southern Districts, Bosley. He's judged very well when he can go forward and when he needs to stay back. Long kick down towards Dalhouse. Almost took the grab. Front and centre was Kyle. Handball back to Dalhouse. Good pressure. Still recovered. Has the snap on goal and misses to the far side. A behind on the board.
And that ball here that comes into Bosley, that doesn't happen if they go courageous and go a bit brave and go to the other side. And yeah, look, there might be a turnover and they might not get there first, but at least they're going to space and they're utilising some of their smalls. And there's a couple of players out there for Tiwi who still have a bit of run in their legs, so they need to be able to use that, not just bomb it long, hoping for the best.
How good was Dalhouse's second effort then? If there's one thing about him, that Jay Dalhouse, is that his second efforts and third efforts are really what every coach wants out of every player, but he's consistently good at it.
Yeah, very effective player, for sure. And they're starting to really work the team game here, Southern Districts. What have we got? A couple of minutes left, possibly?
There's only a couple of rounds left in the season, and the Crocs, of course, are outside the 5, which they're not expecting as Heenan lines it up and sends it into the square. Bowden got his hands on it for the Crocs. No one just quite get clean possession. Still loose. Burrowing under there was Ross, I think. Couldn't quite get away with it. Comes back out again to Michael Bowden. Over to Michael Barlow and then back to Michael Bowden from 50. He takes a bounce. Can the defender kick a goal on his left foot? He sends it into the square where he finds Luke Keel.
I've got no doubt he was trying to have a shot there.
I have no doubt either. And in fact, I'll go back and have a shot directly in front.
And a 50-metre penalty here too, Ashley.
Oh, no, so...
Oh, no, because it's in the goal square.
Yeah, because it's in the goal square, he gets lined up directly in front. And both feet in, and Luke Kyle scores his third for the day.
Wow. Now they're really starting to pile on the pressure in the forward line and just picking out players left, right and centre who are spare. But yeah, I think you're right. Bowden probably was going for goal here on his left. Yeah, he's disappointed.
Bit of a smile on the face there, I think. I was passing. It's okay. 41 scoring shots to 8 here this afternoon. That tells the tale, doesn't it, in a big way.
Yeah.
156 plays, 33. 25 minutes gone here. Can Southern Districts add some more, or can the Tiwi Bombers sneak one or two back? It won't be too much time to play here.
So, again, Districts taking too long, and it's just a warning.
Yeah.
So both sides now are on one warning, and the game's almost over at the 25-minute mark.
So Hamish Rowlands up in the ruck contest here against Gallo. Gallo wins that down easily to Michael Barlow. Backwards to Ed Barlow. Mr. Leather Poisoning. He just works so hard, this fellow. Kick is poor on this occasion. Siren sounds, and that is the ball game. 23-18, 156. The Southern Districts Crocodiles have defeated the Tiwi Bombers 5-3, 33.